I'm gonna get a few people in here, and this is gonna be some coolie high shit. Raoli Hands is first one in here. I don't expect that many people to come here this morning because I wasn't expecting to be up like this morning. I still got my pajamas on, so the ones who are going to catch this is the ones who probably up good morning to you, top of the morning to everybody. I want to say what I have to say. I want to bring some light on to this whole art, Alberto Martinez situation. I want to tell my truth about the Alpo that I know. First, I want to say to everybody before they get off into some bullshit, and I don't care about the what you call it, the trolls are being here saying all kind of crazy shit and everything like that. I'm gonna tell you, there's no honor among thieves. There's no honor in the drug game. There's no honor amongst the people who are here shoplifting. There's no honor amongst the people that's robbing, killing. There's no honor among thieves. That just don't go. That terminology just don't go from motherfuckers that, excuse me, y'all. That terminology just don't go from people who are out here robbing, stealing, and killing and everything. That's any illegal things that people are doing. There's no honor among thieves. Let's get that straight. I want to tell people that I spoke to Alpo recently, and we were in front of 107th, let's scoot this up, and 3rd Avenue. We both was at the embroidery store over there. I was over there getting some business done. He ran into me in the same truck that he was murdered in. And the embroidery dude came out the store, and I think him and the young lady were leaving or something. He said, Big Gene. He said, Big Gene. And we had a conversation for about 30 to 45 minutes. And Al was telling me his whole life shit. And I know of Al. I said, yo, Al, I was bringing him back to shit that he maybe didn't remember. I said, I remember I spoke. He didn't know I saw his letter that he wrote from jail about the situation in the DC things. And I'm going to tell y'all guys about that. He didn't know, he didn't remember, or he did remember when I brought it to his attention, that when Dame Dash and them was effing with the money to give to his mother, that I was the dude that he was talking to. He said, yo, Gene, keep an eye on them niggas, because when I come home, I'm going to slap the shit out. I was like, keep an eye on who? Nah, Al, I'm not doing that. You understand? I was on the phone with him, and he was saying that from prison. Keep an eye on them. Nah, Al, I won't be keeping an eye on nobody. Matter of fact, my eyes are closed. And we spoke about twice since he's been home personally. Since he's been home. The other time was about some young lady, and I ain't gonna mention her name, that he was dating, that he wanted us to be back friends because I used to bodyguard her. And he wanted to have a sit-down dinner with the two of us because he was doing this big movie deal, and he wanted me to be cool because he wanted me to watch them when they go places and everything like that. And I told him right there, Al, I'm retired. I will have a meeting with the young lady because I love her too. But it was just some circumstances that we didn't talk. And I'll do that, Al. But I'm not bodyguarding nobody, especially not. We're not doing that, Al. Trying to make light of the situation. Um, I'm going to be on this as long as I need to be. And for those who listen, is going to learn a lot of shit about the game. Now, I'm setting you up for all the things that's going to come because I spoke to Al and he wanted to give me his whole life spiel about why, which, this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards. And when a man is pouring out his life like that to you, I had that done to me before, and that was the Notorious Big. When he sat in the Winnebago and he started pouring his life out to me, when he started pouring his life out to me, it was crazy. I'm gonna answer one thing about what you cats out here saying. Nicky Bonds, they consider him a legendary drug dealer. Changed the whole laws. That's why they get the what is it? It's the law that the U.S. government made because of Nicky Bonds, and it's the conspiracy, the conspiracy law, which is racketeering. The racketeering law, I forgot the name of it. Somebody's going to help me with that. The racketeering law was made up because of Nicky Bonds, but they considered him a legend, and he ratted. They considered Sammy the Bull one of the ruthless killers that we know of. The RICO law. Thank you, Uzi Westside. Appreciate you, brother. The racketeering law, the RICO law, was made up. Capricorn, thank you. Saint Dicker, yeah, thank y'all. Thank all y'all. Appreciate y'all. You know, the RICO law was made up because of Nicky Bonds. Nicky Bonds was considered a legend out here in the street, and he ratted on his whole crew. He ratted on his crew. That was considered a rat because they ate together. They went places together. Yeah. Sammy the Bull ratted on his whole crew. So, let me start. First time I met Alpo was with my god brother. He took me over there to play basketball straight out of college. He took me over the east side on 105th and First Avenue in the back of Wilson, and they were playing for $10,000. I didn't know. I did not know they were playing for $10,000. The nigga asked me, my god brother asked me afterwards, yo, what you want, Gene? And I told him, I just want an orange juice. And they were playing for $10,000. That's the first time I met Alpo. The next time I met him was through the same game. The next time I met him was through the same game. He did everything for the same game. He took some of them. He took some of them niggas out during the Virginia Beach days. He took the whole crew to Virginia Beach, rented a boat. Some of them niggas ain't never been out of Harlem. I used to go down there, and I wasn't rolling with them like that, you know, as far as going on the trips with them because I was going with my fraternity. You know what I'm saying? The Qs had that shit on lock, Virginia Beach. So I was rolling with the Qs. But the whole same gang team went down there via Alpo. He loved some niggas from the same gang. He was same gang. It's one nigga, and I'm approved to this nigga, and I'm not going to mention your name. He was so hurt that he said to me, when I went to jail, it was only one nigga I knew was going to look out for me, and he was from the same gang. And I was hurt that he didn't look out for me. And I ain't going to mention your name, brother, but you know who you are. He said through the whole time, that's the only thing that hurted him, other than being away from his mother and his sister, because he loved that. That nigga loved his mother and his sister. Loved them deeply. So that was part of our conversation. But I'm not getting into that right now. I'm going to get into something that you guys don't understand. And when you got dudes and people that rob, steal, kill, sell drugs, do all this shit. Yeah, he lost his mother and his sister, Tracy. Yo, that killed him. Yo, that hurt him so bad. He didn't want to be here no more. That's what you niggas don't understand. He didn't care about being here. When he lost his mother and his sister, he ain't care about being on this earth no more. He wanted to be with them. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to show you why just a little later. You understand? I'm sorry. Please, I know y'all got questions and stuff, but when I look down sometimes, I see it. Now, when he went away, Al wrote a letter. Al wrote a letter to the niggas back in Harlem. One particular dude, I'm just going to say Baldy. Everybody who knows him know who I'm talking about. I read the letter. Because Baldy and my god brother are like freaking frat. That letter said that he's been given a deal by the federal government that if he tells all what they want him to know, if he tells all what they want to know about the DC guys, he don't have to involve any information from nobody from Harlem. He would still have to do 26 years in jail and not spend the rest of his life in jail. He let them know that I'm going to take that deal for me. There's no honor among thieves. Now, I'm not going to get into the Rich Porter thing because him and Rich Porter didn't play in the sandbox again with each other. Him and Rich Porter wasn't as tight because you see them in a picture here and there hugged up and they were cool and they were effing with the same girls. If they were selling drugs together, they wasn't that cool. I know the people that he was that cool with like that at the time. God bless him. Hope he get out soon. I'm just going to say love. People know who I'm talking about. I know the people that he was that cool with Baldy. People he wrote to. I would know who's that cool with, and I'm just going to say 112th Street. And don't minimize what he did to Rich, not at all. But trust and believe there's no honor among thieves. No honor. Now, the DC dudes, they was trying to kidnap Al. They was trying to kill Al. They had testified against Al, where the federal government had picked up his mother and his sister and locked them up. Now, I ain't never been no gangster. When they say OG, they say original gentleman for me. Ordinary gentleman for me. Or ordinary guy. Original gentleman, ordinary guy. That's my OG status. But when those DC guys and the federal government, through their testimony, picked up his mother and them and his sister and locked them up, it crushed Al. He didn't want his mother and his sister in jail, involved in the shit. Now, I asked some gangsters, and they said he still was supposed to hold fast and say, fuck it. He knew that was a part of the game. His mama could go to jail. His could go to jail. He shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have told or nothing like that. He still shouldn't have told. Now, I talked to some gangsters who Chaz Williams was totally against it. No, you don't do that. Your mama, your daddy, your nothing, whoever. You was a part of that. Whether they was a part of it or not, you don't tell. That was what he did. Because he accepted that. Ain't no honor among thieves. You have to ask yourself, Alpo was selling millions of dollars of drugs. Alpo had killed 14 umpteen amount of people. Why did the federal government want those DC guys more than they wanted Alpo to give him a deal like that, to come home? A lot of y'all don't know why. Let me school you. There was an incident in DC, that Baltimore, DC area like that one of these cats was let off at the park that they hung out in. And the cop got into the loudspeakers and he said, "Hey, thanks for all the information. See you next week." Called the dude name out and everything. Kid was 17 years old. Now, you know what's going to happen now. They're either going to kill this kid or this kid got to do something. This kid went back up into the station on orders from the DC crew. Y'all know who. And he shot 5 cops, I think, wounded like 7. It was a kamikaze act. And they killed him. Whoever got a power to send somebody up in a police station to kill some people is more of a threat to us than Alpo Martinez. And if he could get these guys back in jail, if he could get these guys back in jail, get these guys in jail for life, we'll give Alpo Martinez a deal. Al ran with it. Al decided for himself, I'm not going to be in here for 50 years and die like I've seen some guys do. That was the choice that he took as a gangster. He knew when he came back to the streets after 26 years, a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna be alive because they not living right. We lost some great ones. We lost some good ones. He knew he was gonna have that tag on his back as a rap. He knew he was gonna have that tag on his back. But he loved Harlem. When Al talked to me from jail, I was with my god brother. And he was talking about the paid in full shit. He was talking about how they was disrespecting his mother. He was talking about how when he came home, I said that before, that we're going to talk about that. Jimbo, we're going to talk about that too. He was talking about how they were disrespecting his mother for $25,000 that he signed his rights over to for that shit. And that's one of the pinnacle movies of hip hop. Mr. 216, bro, I'm not shouting you out. Shout me out, Big Gene. No, I'm not shouting you out, Mr. 216. Why would I do that? What's up, brother? How you doing? Good morning. It ain't nothing for me to do that, brother. It's a small thing. You know what I'm saying? So he sent some people to go get that money and take to his mother now. 25,000. Tiffany B, don't get me beat up. Because at the end of the story, you're going to see, I don't want to be loved by these women in the street. To nobody. Because ain't nobody in his past killed him. That was some new shit. That's why I'm finna tell you, ain't no honor among thieves. I'm gonna keep that whole shit going on. Ain't no honor among thieves. You see what the Rockefeller people was trying to do to him. They could have easily gave that man mother that money without no problem, without no situation. He gave them the right sign, the papers, and the whole 9 yards. Now, when Al came home, but before he came home, you know, he was letting people know that he was coming home and everything like that, still calling freely like that. And then you start hearing the sightings of Al, the sightings of Al, the sightings of Al. But he went to see the people that he loved and he knew. He went to see those people. So we knew he was home when everybody was saying there were sightings of him. Now, people is like, yo, Gene, you know, I knew him. Yeah, I knew him. He was around our people. He was around our parties back in the day and everything like that. He came to certain events. He came to the dice games and all that shit, in and out. And he was always in and out. But these particular 2 times that Al sat down and he talked to me for a long time, one was about 15, 20 minutes, the other one was about 35, 45 minutes. And that was the last time I spoke to him. And I don't know why he wanted to just tell me shit. Because I could be a great listener. I had to do that for over 27 years as a parole officer. Listen to people's stories. And I know how to active listen by saying, yeah, all right, I understand. You know, wow, you know, damn. Al sat there and he told me he just wanted niggas to know he was still a man. He wanted people to understand no matter what he did, if it didn't have nothing to do to you directly, if it didn't have nothing to do to your family directly, nigga, I'm still a man. Because anybody from that family tree that I did something to, I accept my faith from them. Gene, I'm still a man. I'm still who I am. Though I did some shit that I hate now, I'm still a man. He had to fight with his own demons in a 8x8, 10x10 cell for 26 years and come out here to lose his mother and his sister that he loved so dearly that he stayed alive for them. He was willing to accept his faith no matter what it was. Everybody got their opinion, Red Man. You say he ain't a man. I think that when he accepted and he decided to go and say, I'm going to do this for me as my own man, he was his own man, brother. No matter what you may think. And I know this cat. Red Man, I don't care your size. I don't care big, tall, small, or what, whoever you are. He gonna give you all of him. Whether it's on the boxing shit, because he was a trained boxer. That's what niggas don't know. And he Puerto Rican. Shit. You forgot he was Puerto Rican too. Good with the knife. It's the shank. Making light of it, Red Man. Yeah. That's not true, Red Man. He gave more than more gangsters I knew in the street back in the day. Yo, if he only cared about himself, Red Man, there's a lot of niggas that he took care of. There's a lot of families. There's a lot of people. It was off the drug game. It was off that shit that don't have no honor, Red Man. It don't have no honor in the street. But there's people that he took care of. Ain't no honor among thieves. Now, when he got through telling his story about how he felt and what he wanted to show niggas in the street. He told me about somebody he was in love with and that was dear to him now. And that person and I had a past. I used to work for them. I used to hold them down. And he felt that we needed to talk because they had mentioned to me. They had talked about me. Y'all don't know, I think one of the individuals in the industry, I know for sure one of the individuals in the industry had worked a deal for him. And they was doing a documentary / movie on him. He's about to get a big check. Now, this is where your past can come back and haunt you. Al was known as being a psychotic killer. The type of individual that had no remorse or appeared to have no remorse on what he did in the streets. Hold up. Ramon I. Bravo. I was a parole. I'm gonna come back to. I was a parole officer for 27 years. Do you know how many niggas there was gangsters that came home? They used to sit in front of my desk, and the DEA, the DEA, and what's this other agency? The Secret Service. I had to sign documents that. I had to sign documents with my senior parole officer because this nigga had become a federal witness out here in the street telling on niggas, and they were supposed to be gangsters. They was getting checks from $500 to $800 a week. If they bring home an automatic weapon, if they bring home a revolver, that's $250 added on to their case. If they bring home an automatic weapon, that was $500 something. An assault rifle was $800 something. And any time of like when they do the whole case, the nigga will get 8% of the case. Ratting is a profession. Thank you for that sidekick, Bravo. Ratting is a profession. What up, Bullet God? So now, Poe, this nigga that people feared, niggas wasn't running up on him. He was over there all the time on Lenox Avenue and 120th Street. Always out there with certain people, partying, just being him. He had already accepted his fate. He said he had a bucket list at 55. I know, and I spoke to one of my friends about this. Man, who put a bucket list at 55? Nigga, I ain't got no bucket list. You know, he said, he was like, yo, Gene, you know, just shit that you want to do before you die. I know it's a possibility, but I'm not looking to go no time soon. I feel God ain't finished with me yet because I still got to do his work. I still got to do his work. To some of these motherfuckers, the more I try to teach them, the dumber they make me look. So I still got to do God's work. Some of these niggas gotta know, man. Charity starts at home. Get your family together. Do what you got to do for yours first before you go out in the street and try to shine. Before you go out in the street and try to shine, nigga, make sure your shit is correct at home. Niggas don't hear me though. Yeah, go ahead and get on off. You don't want to hear that part of it. Go on, get off. No, I ain't got no bucket list. I learned a long time ago. My man told me, my Papa Drake told me this. He said, do whatever you want to do in life. Never look back on it and said, I wish I had her. That's going to be the worst part of your life if you wish you had done something. And I don't have those wishes, right? Sorry. It's one thing I want to face, and I'm going to do that soon as possible. Like I said, I got my pajamas on, y'all. Anyway. Al was known as could have been he could have been a serial killer. Hey, Tiff. Thank you, Mama. So now, he was known as he could have been known as a serial killer. So now, what is that going to happen? What is that going to do? That's going to cause motherfuckers who don't know you, that's going to cause motherfuckers who heard of you to fear you. I've seen more motherfuckers killed out of fear for what they could do than what they did. Hen Dog, 12th Street Posse, Fritz, right-hand man. Y'all don't know this. It's in my book. That's a plug for my book. But Hen Dog was feared. Niggas who know. Mr. White Bliss, no fear, shout out. You don't know I gave him that name when he was playing against the X-Men. I played on the No Fear Posse basketball team. We was playing against the X-Men. I gave them that name and did the shirts. See, there you go, one of the youngins. A Beanie Ford. Who is he? Hen Dog was that dude back in the day. Anybody who know Fritz know that was his right-hand man. One of them. Fritz had a problem, Hen Dog was his problem solver. Right. So now, I was feared. Niggas who said they don't fuck with rats. Niggas who got this whole, I'll do this and I'll do that. When he showed up, niggas was stuck on stupid. I'ma treat a man how he treats me. I'm sorry. Michi, thank you for that, mama. Marcel Green, thank you for that super chat also. Thank you for those cash apps at Big Gene 52 and the PayPals. Appreciate that. I'm going to treat a man based on how he treat me, Jeff Thomas. Thank you for that super chat. You know why? because I can only be responsible for what comes to me. I'm sorry for what they do to somebody else. You could have the worst motherfucker in the world treat you like a brother. I gotta give him what he gives me. So now, Al is known as a serial killer. They know if I got a beef with this nigga, I got a problem. Al knows all the rules of engagement. Listen here, y'all. Anybody on here that with sense, anybody out on here that's been in the streets, knows 3 or 4 times you don't go outside. You don't play around. 1, New Year's Eve. 2, 4th of July. 3, Halloween. Anybody that's in the streets, anybody that know Richard Hill, salute. You don't fuck around on those days. Charles Nevado. Am I right, brother? Pretty Nicky even said that. Redman even said that. Anybody in the streets, any nigga that's been out here, no, you don't fuck around on those days. He knew those rules. You don't play with those fucking rules. There's rules in this shit that you just don't fucking play with. You're not gonna get me like that. Sergio, thank you for that, brother. I gotta catch my composure, man. Al had already made up his bucket list. I don't think Al, somebody just said it was Al was a professional hit. That nigga knew what he was doing. He put those shots together. Me as being law enforcement, being trained by different agencies, whoever shot Al put those shots together. But it's some strange consequences. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this a little later. Let's get to this whole rules that people have to understand that niggas in the streets are accustomed to. Now, there's some people that came on here on my show right now and said, facts, Big Gene. We don't play around on those days. If I'm going to take my kids trick-or-treating, I'm going to take them to the white area early. When I used to take my own kids trick-or-treating, Daddy, why we don't come in around the store and the store like the around our friends? Babe, we going to go where the good candy at. Used to go to Jersey, round Paramus, Hackensack. If it was point blank range, I don't know. I don't think the glass would have been that shattered like that. He put them together pretty close. Point blank range at all. If you shoot a weapon and you still doing that, dumping like that. Because they tried to say it was from a car. It wasn't from a car. It wasn't from a car. There was people that witnesses, and it wasn't from a car. So now, people on this show, people from this show just said they know that when you are in the game, you don't go out on certain particular holidays and make yourself accessible to nobody at no time. I'm going to say this. It was Halloween. And the devil came to get his son. Had love for Poe, knew Poe. And if it's one night, and he was told at 11:20, he spoke to my god brother, what the fuck is you doing outside? Nigga, it's Halloween. He spoke to him. Poe said, I got my vest on. Let's hope, said whoever shot him had military experience because he had tight groups. Just right. My groups was never that motherfucking tight. Who was that? Who was that, brother? I'm trying to get you back. Let's hope. I was shooting for 27 years. You had to do it once a year. My shit was never that tight, Poe. The 7.5 feet, the 13 feet, yeah, maybe. I wasn't trying to make it that tight. Because the OGs told me, once you get that pendant to say you a sharpshooter, if you shoot somebody in the middle of their eye, you're gonna be taking it. You're gonna be responsible for that because they teach you to shoot center mass. Once you get that pen, say you're a sharpshooter, and you make a mistake and shoot somebody right between their eyes, nigga, you might go to jail. So now, this wasn't somebody from Alpo past. Like these niggas say, the streets are catching up with you. The streets are going to do this. The streets are going to do that. Yeah, the streets can. And I applaud y'all. For your commentary on it. This wasn't somebody from his past or what he did to somebody else. This was somebody that feared him, that heard about him, that knew what he was capable of doing. There's no honor among thieves. Michi, what are you talking about? Say what again, Michi? Slow people, Michi. I got slow. Michi, I ain't got no slow people on my program. Michi. Yeah, Dion, you right. I don't know how you knew that, Dion, but you right, brother. I wasn't gonna say that, and I'm not gonna say that, Dion. I let the other people, figure that out. Yeah, Anthony. Karma works like this, brother. Let me tell you what karma is. Karma comes from the old Egyptian. It comes from the Egyptians, and what happens is the shit may not happen to you. It may happen into your family tree based on your spiritual growth and your spiritual knowledge and what you are in the spirit. It goes to the weaker person of your family tree. So you may do something, and karma may come back to that family tree of yours. Yeah. Yeah. See, T. Robinson, see, you can't say, like, you got people on here say, yo, I'm a Christian or I believe in God and everything like that. What if Al had gave his life back to God or gave his life to God? Do you believe he have an opportunity to change? Nobody know whether he did that or he believed that. I don't know his religious belief. Maybe he gave his life back to God. But on Halloween, the devil came to get his son. Because there's no honor among thieves. That's not necessarily true, Sadie Watt. God don't say you have to suffer consequences once you give your life to him. You are washed in the blood of Jesus, or whatever you do or did and stuff like that. You don't have to suffer no consequences, brother. If you believe. That's what they believe, Red Man. That's what people believe. You could blow up a whole city. Thank you, Jesus. I forgive me, Lord. That's the Christian way. Joe, did you hear what I said? No blood at the scene. At 11:20, he said, told somebody I got my vest on. I don't, Joe. I know the police told the family members that they could, Dr. DaCosta, thank you. Dr. DaCosta, I was going to come on way before this, but after I heard that, I was coming on Sunday. But after I spoke to a couple of people um, and told them about Al, everybody jumped online and was like, Alpo, 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 Alpo. Choke, no joke, knew he had heard. I confirmed it for Choke. You understand? But then everybody started jumping online like Alpo, 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 Alpo. And I was coming on with a different thing because some people have been saying some shit, and I had a whole little thing for y'all, Dr. DaCosta. And I I just thought that I needed a couple of days. I needed a couple of days to come on here and straighten this shit out or tell my opinion. So Al had words with some niggas that night. It was people there and people that saw it. And let me just tell anybody in Harlem, every 17 feet that you walk, you will be confronted with video surveillance. It's in the FBI records. It's in the city logs. Every 17 feet that you walk in any direction in Harlem, you will be confronted with a video surveillance. Anywhere in the city, be it church, ATMs, banks, businesses, projects, red lights. Anytime there's a shooting and a crime committed, the red light cameras go up. Red light cameras are cameras that automatically start filming when shots or anything are fired. So whatever radius you go, there are certain red light cameras. Not all red light cameras, red light green, have those cameras in them. But certain red light cameras go off inside the cameras that are signal lights once shots and things are fired. See, they're not going to tell you everything, and that's how law enforcement work. They told you it was a drive-by. Nigga walked up to the truck. I was next to Al's truck. I'm 6'7". I was next to Al's truck. I'm 6'7". There's no way a gun is going to shoot up and catch him in the chest like that. They're going to feed you a story. Because they want the criminals to think that's what they think. Red man, you don't have to be there to be smart enough to know. Now you're being stupid, and now you're famous. Ain't no way that you're going to hit somebody in the chest and you in a car like this. Either that shit had to be as high as his truck, because I stood next to his truck. That person had to be as high as his truck, or they had to jump on top of the truck and hit him. And I was backing up trying to get away because a car had blocked them in. It was people on the scene. And they're going to tell and they're going to talk. It was people out there. And it was people knowing that he was waiting on a chick. Allegedly. Bubba from Brooklyn, you're right. They ain't show no blood from the scene. Travis Jordan, that's my saying. Nobody beats an ambush. It's not going to be a funeral. It's not going to be a funeral, y'all. So don't look for that. And anybody telling you that, not going to be a funeral. They're giving the family 30 minutes to view his body, and then they will be cremating him. They gonna give him 30 minutes to view the body, and then they cremating him. Big Miss, thank you, man. Listen, I, I, I had this shit on my heart, and I was coming here to just give y'all a little synopsis of what I knew. They giving the family that ultimatum. They this you know um, they giving the family that ultimatum. No, Dion. Stop that, Dion, man, with that bullshit. Please stop that, Dion, before I X your ass out. Dion, stop it, all right? Please, brother. You already let people know, Dion, so stop it. Paula 27, that's what my show is going to be partially about. But if you know what I've said, this nigga say whatever he want to say out of his mouth. I'm just giving you that right now. But I'm not here for that today, Paula. You'll get that on my next commentary. You know what I mean? I don't know. That shit is scary to me. Maybe they shot him up and he gonna be looking like he dead or something. I don't know. They only giving the family 30 minutes with him, and then he will be cremated. Seth Marie, how you doing, mama? Jesse Peterson, get out of here. What you 12? Yeah. I used to go up in them Dominican spots and they didn't know he was Puerto Rican, and they be talking about ripping them off, and Al and his crew would rip them off. Yeah, yeah. Listen, Dorian White out there in Knoxville. Salute Knoxville, Tennessee. Jerry Boykins, who didn't? That's all I'm gonna say. On light of a moment, brother and sisters, when you go back this and some of y'all recap this, and some of y'all, you know, want to say Gene Deal, Gene Deal. When I speak about shit, because I have a personal involvement and I knew the people personally. You understand? When I told y'all I spoke to Meech of BMF about Wolf, I spoke to that person. There were people around me that saw me speak to him. You understand? I'm not an OG like that. I'm an ordinary guy. You understand? An old guy. An original guy. I'm somebody who's trying to help or let the generation know this is what happens. You can't expect, if you robbing and stealing and killing and selling drugs with somebody, them to be your friend. Because there's no, and listen to me, there's no honor among thieves. It's been Big Gene from Raw Deal Last Big Night Cooking and Conversation. I'm on my last chapter of my book. I'm on my last chapter, and there's some emotional shit with me right now. Because I'm facing when I was talking to a man again before he lost his life. And that was the Notorious B.I.G. Peace, y'all. I'll see y'all soon again. Thank you for y'all time. Love you as much as you love me. Peace.